Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Today we have a very good problem for you guys called integer to Roman. So let's quickly see what it's all about, right? So it says Roman numerals are represented by 7 different symbols: I, V, X, L, C, D, and M, right? So those are the corresponding values, right? For each symbol, right? So those are the Roman numeral symbols, and those are the integer values that we know of, right? For example, 2 is written as II, right, which represents 2 guys, right? So it just 2 ones added together, right? So pretty simple, right? And then 12 is written as XII, right, which represent X, right? X, right, it's 10, right? And then the 2 I's represent 2. Pretty simple. Okay, so the number 27 is written as 2 X's to get 20, right? Which is XX plus V, right? Which is 25, right? So it plus the 2 2's to get the 27, guys, right? So we see to get a particular number, we need to pretty much add up the symbols, it seems like, right? Okay. So Roman numerals are usually written from largest to smallest, right? So, okay, that's a pretty good thing. So it's written from largest to smallest, okay, from left to right, okay? So, however, the numeral for 4 is not 3 fours, right? Instead, the number 4 is written as IV. Because the 1 is before the 5, we subtract it from making it 4. So the same principle applies to the number 9, right, which is written as IX. Okay, so we see normally it's largest to smallest, right, from left to right. But we have some edge cases, right? So let's see. So it says there are 6 instances where subtraction is needed, right? So the rule is, it's from largest to smallest, right? But we have some edge case, right? Some exceptions to the rule, and there are only 6 exceptions, right? So very, very good, right? So it's not a lot to worry about. Okay, so we have six exceptions. So we see that when the I is before V and the I before X, right, we get 4 and 9 respectively, right? And then X before L and C, 40 and 90 respectively. Then C before a D, right? And M is 409, right? So whenever we see those cases where a smaller number comes before a bigger number, right, then we know it's one of those subtraction case, right, where we subtract. Because normally we would just add up all the numbers, right? We do 10 for 27, right? We just do X plus X is 20 plus V is 25 plus 1 plus 1 will be simple, easier. But those edge cases add a little bit of complexity, right? But there are only 6 other instances, right, where that exception occurs, right? So it's not a big deal, right? So let's go through a couple examples to help us to understand what the ask is, right? So we're supposed to convert this integer into a Roman numeral, right? So very interesting. So we see that this number is given to us 3, right? And the output is 3 I's, right? And we could verify that that's the case because, we just add up all the I's together, right? Which gives us actually the number 3, right? 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3, guys, right? Pretty simple. And example 2, right? This one's pretty good as well. So we're given 58, okay? So 58 is LV in 3 I's, right? And let's verify it. It's L is 50, V is 5, and 3 I's to get 58, right? So 50 plus 5 plus 3, 58. Pretty simple. In 1994, so we see that 1,000, right, M, and we see that a C comes before M, right? That's kind of weird, right? But it tells us this is one of those weird edge cases, right? Where this is where it represents 900, right? So that's what this is, guys, right? And then we have a XC, right? Another weird case, which represents 90. And another weird case where I becomes for a V, of 4. So add them all up and we get 1994, guys, right? Pretty simple. Okay, so we know the trick how to convert it into Roman numeral, right? Convert it into integer, right? Because we've done a problem like that before, right? If you guys haven't seen it, I highly suggest you guys go watch it because, I went through a lot of details and it was pretty decent video, I think. So how do we do this conversion, guys, right? Given a number into a Roman numeral, right? So we kind of have to think about it a little bit. So let's see, right? Because we know that to convert it into an integer, right, we need to do some kind of addition, right? And we know that numbers are written from largest to smallest, from left to right. Maybe we can start to see, right? So we could see what we can construct, right, from this particular integer, right? So we're given 3, right? We can try to find the highest, right, number that can fit into this particular number as 3, right? So the highest number that could fit into it, right, that could fit into it is 1, right? Because 5, it doesn't fit into 3, guys, right? Because it's too big, right? So because of that, we gotta keep using 1, 1, 1, right? So we see this I can represent part of this number, right? So we put I, right? That's the biggest number that could represent part of that number, right? So we subtract from it, right? Gives us 2. Then we subtract, we add another I to get 2, and then we add another I to get, so now we get 3 I, so now it's 0, right? The number should be 0. And that's how it is, right? So let's go to a more complex case, right? Where we have 58, guys, right? So we're given that number. So how do we represent that into Roman, right? So we start off, trying to find the highest possible number that we could symbol that can represent part of 58, right? The highest possible one, right? So which number fits into 58, right? Which symbol. So the symbol that fits into 58, it can't be 100. 100 is too big, right? The number that fit into the highest possible one, right, is 50, right? So we get 50, right? And then that can help us to get part of it, right? So that's the highest number that could fit into 58, right? And then now we're left with 8, right? And then we're going to do the same thing with 8 only, right? What's the highest symbol that can represent 8, right? The highest symbol that could fit into 8, right? The highest symbol is 5, right? Because every time we're trying to find the highest possible symbol, right? So that we could write and start constructing our outputs, right? That's what we're doing here, guys, right? Because the numbers are written from largest to smallest, guys, right? Okay, so that's kind of what we're doing here, guys, right? And then we see 8, the highest number that fits into it's 5, and then we subtract 5, so now we're left with 3, and then which is the same case that we find here, right? And then we add all the ones to get 3, and then all the cases were covered, right? We got a 50 L, we got the 5, we got 3 3s, right? And if you add them all up, right, which is converting it back into a number, right, gives us 58, right? Which is exactly what we have, guys, right? Pretty simple. And then the same case happens there, guys, where we just trying to find the highest possible number, right? The highest possible number that can fit into it is 1,000, and which are represented by the M, right? And then 1994, it's left, right? So now we're trying to find what's the highest possible number, right? Is what? So you're probably saying, I don't see 900 there. Highest possible number is 500. No, you can't. That's not the highest one, right? Because we need to worry about this case as well, right? We have 900. It can be represented by C and M, right? So actually, that's the highest possible symbol, right? Because we're going to treat this as a symbol as well, guys, right? C and M as a particular symbol, right? So not only those symbols will have their representation, right? We also got to represent all those different instances, right? Where we have those edge cases, right? As unique symbols, right? So I and V would be a particular symbol, right? I and X, right? So that's how we're going to treat them as well, right? So that we can make the problem very, very simple, right? We see the highest possible one is going to be 900, right? So now we just put CM. So we're pretty much treating it as 1, right? A 1 symbol, right? But it's actually 2, right? Because that's the subtraction case, right? And then we put CM into it there, right? Boom. And then we're left with 94, right? We get the same case, right? We see the highest possible number that could fit into 94. Probably saying it's not 50, right? It's actually 90, right? So I told you how we're going to handle that case, right? So it's going to be as simple as that, guys, right? Every time we're trying to find the highest possible number that could fit into the given integer we have at that time, guys, right? And then we go ahead and solve the problem, right? So let's quickly get into the code. Hopefully it makes sense to you guys. Well, you guys can see it, right? So what I have here is just pretty much the values to Roman numeral, right, representation, right? So as we look through, we have so everything's mapped a one-to-one mapping between each of them, right? So 1,000 is mapped to M, right? The first index is 1,000. It's the first index in numerals, right, which is 1,000 there. And 900 is its representation, and so on and so forth, guys, right? So everything has the one-to-one mapping, guys, right? We're using an array because we want to make sure we maintain the ordering, right? When we're looping through and trying to find the highest possible value that we can subtract the num, right? So that it's non-negative, right? It's not a negative number, right? I mean, right? So that's not a negative number. So we're going to do it and loop through all the possible values, right? Human numerals, right? So I equal to 0, it is less than values. I mean, at length I plus plus, guys. And then what we're going to do is so while the so we're going to say the num minus, right, whatever value that I'm at right now, right, the value of I, right, if it's greater than or equal to 0, right, the subtraction is greater than or equal to 0, right, then that's the one of the highest possible values, right, one of them, right, that I could subtract at that particular time, right, particular number that I'm at, right. So what we're going to do is to have our output results, right, we're going to need some sort of a string builder, guys, right, to make sure that we have that result, guys, right? Okay, so now we have a string builder. So now what we're going to do is to subtract, right, that value from it, right? So we're subtracting because we're about to account for it, right? It's one of the symbols that we're accounting for, right? So we're going to do numeral, right, which is accessible in the numerals array, right? And we get whatever symbol that is, right? So if it's say, for example, it's what are those cases, right? 1994. So we said we're looping from 0 to this one, right? So this is the first number that we encounter. Okay. So since it's the first number, we just try to subtract, right? 1994 minus 1,000 is the subtraction is greater than 0, right? So we get into this loop and then we add that value, right? We subtract 1,000 from it, and then we add that corresponding number, Roman numeral, right? And then we keep doing that each time, guys, right? So let's try this example. So we go ahead and we see that the highest value we try 1,000. 1,000 minus is too big, right? Because 1,000 doesn't fit into 58, guys, right? So it doesn't work. And then we go into 900, doesn't fit, 100 doesn't fit, 100 doesn't fit. 90 does not fit, 50 does fit into it, right? It's the highest possible value that I can fit into 58, right? So we subtract it, right? And then we put the corresponding value there, guys, right? And then we get 58, right? And then we get 8, right? And then we just keep doing that, right? We go ahead, we go on to the next one, right? We see that 50 can't fit anymore, right? Because, you know, the number's a lot smaller now because it's 8, right? So we go on to the next value, right? Which is 40, nope. 10, nope. 9, nope. 5 can't fit into it, right? So we subtract 5, and then we're left with 3, right? And then we're doing the same thing, guys, right? So we just do substring to string, right, to return the output results. Just press run code. Looks good so far. Press submit. Awesome, guys. We're able to pass all the test cases, guys. If you guys liked this video, guys, and enjoyed it, right, let me know that in the comment section. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe because we'll be doing a lot of other videos just like this one. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.